Over $70,000 for this Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. Yeah, it shouldn't cost this much. Yes, it's a TRD Pro, but the last generation was nowhere near this, and now you guys already know it is a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Why did Toyota do that? I highly doubt they did that for reliability. Now, when it comes to this dealership, they used to do market adjustments on all of their TRD Pro models. I have showed you many from this dealer, one with $10,000 market adjustment, the other with $5,000, and now if you look, there is just their little, I wouldn't call it little, $15.99 package. MSRP is $68,950, and then with their package, it goes down to $70,000. So it is what it is. This dealership used to charge market adjustments. Why are they not doing that anymore? Because this vehicle has been sitting for 2 months. This is supposed to be the most desirable Toyota Tacoma out there, yet it's sitting for 2 months on the lot, and I bet you can get it below MSRP now. And this is the last dealership. When I mean the last dealer to discount, this was the last one. This was the holdout dealership that says we're still doing market adjustments. They were doing it a year ago. $49,000 for a Sienna, not cheap at all, but at least, you know, it's somewhat of a base model. We just don't get many of those on the lot. Most of the time, it's always the higher trim levels that are actually in stock. So very, very few low trim levels that'll actually hit the lot. And obviously, as you see, majority just trucks. Trucks for days and days. Look at all the Tacomas. But the craziest part to me is they used to do market adjustments, and now no more market adjustments. What does that mean? That is quite interesting. Now let's see what we got here. We got a Prius. What kind of price are we working with here? Wow, $40,000 down to $37,000. That's an expensive Prius. So it is what it is. Even a Toyota Camry, as much as people love these things, if you get to the higher trim levels, I've seen them at $50,000 before. So if you're able to get a cheaper one, but even, look at this. You know, we're getting to $39,000. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, but the MSRP is only $38,000. And then I already know how this dealer is. They don't want to play. Maybe now they're starting to discount, but man, it's just crazy that they were one of the last ones, and they're still doing their little package, which they need to take off. Now look at this, $50,000. It's a base model 4Runner. It should be 4x4 for that price. So the MSRP increased $5,000, but the craziest part is, look at them sitting here. These new 4Runners are redesigned. They're supposed to be they're supposed to be flying off the shelves, yet they're sitting, you know? So it is kind of surprising, even though they're still built in Japan. What did they do? 61 grand. They switched from a naturally aspirated, super, super reliable V6 into a 4-cylinder turbo. Now, someone's gonna argue with me, you're just a Toyota hater. Well, no, I've spent too much money on Toyotas. That just is what it is. And here's the deal. I'm passionate about older and certain Toyotas, like the last generation 4Runner. It's just so dang reliable. Why do you buy a Toyota? Is it for, reliability has to be on one of the top reasons, you know, and then also being somewhat affordable. And it's like, all that's gone now. Both of those reasons, somewhat affordable. Yeah, base model SR5 pickup truck. Let's see. This is a base model pickup truck. Let's see what we're working with here. $44,000. And let's see, yep, SR5, 4x4. So base model 4x4 pickup from Toyota, midsize, is basically $50,000 now. Yeah, that's too much money. The Tundra, I can show you an $80,000 Tundra. That should not, those words shouldn't go together. You know, Toyota and $100,000 vehicles, especially with their pickup trucks. Come on. Look at this, $48,000 for this one, and it is a TRD off-road. So, but in this video, I showed you a $70,000, I can't believe it, a $70,000 Toyota Tacoma built in Mexico, but they're charging 70 grand. Toyota's using low wages over there, and then are we not getting any of the additional savings that Toyota is saving from using, you know, it just makes sense. Look at this, 78,000, wow. For a Tundra, 80 grand for a Toyota Tundra. something that, I mean, come on, just make it make sense. These things are so overpriced for what they are, and that's why there's inventory sitting here. Let's see, this might be one of the fancy ones. Can we see something over 80? I just can't believe how expensive these things, 76, yeah. That's where they're at, but it is 1,500 added, so it should be lower than that. And here's a base model. Let's just get an idea where they actually start at. Base model all the way up to 80 grand. Let's see. And they got this one discounted to 54 on that sticker right there. So yeah, 60 grand discounted to 54,000. It's a lot of money for what it is, man. And you used to get a V8. So it's like every make, every model, especially with the trucks, one by one has just been, I mean, it's just not the same. Planned obsolescence. It seems like Toyota is just not living how they used to. They're not doing the same things, building vehicles to be super reliable like the last generation 4Runner. I mean, how much more reliable can you get? And now we have this turbocharged 4-cylinder turbo that's quite questionable. Let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.